This is Rap the News. Today we're going to talk about the pestilence. Who gets destroyed and why? And so, getting straight to the point, Hebrew and Gentile get destroyed depending on the circumstances. We're going to start all the way back to Genesis 12 and then get to what's going on right now. Genesis 12:3. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. And what is it talking about? I will bless the Gentiles who bless the Hebrews, and I will curse the Gentiles who curse the Hebrews. And so the Gentiles, and I'm not saying all of them, took it upon themselves to curse the Hebrew by hanging them on a tree. Deuteronomy 21:23. For anyone who is hung is cursed in the sight of God. And so if you leave the body hanging all night, which they did, then they curse the person that hangs on the tree. And so they then become cursed for hanging us. Them and everything that belonged to them. And we have to just understand it. A lot of people find themselves getting angry because it seems like it ain't no light and no hope for Gentiles. But I'm showing you the light and the hope there. There is no light and hope for people who love to be angry at black people. There is no light and hope for you because it is a balance system. I showed you that balance system, that whatever you sow, you're going to reap. Whatever you put in, you're going to get out. I will recompense, says God, your way upon your own head. I will give you what you put in. You put in evil, you're going to receive evil. And so let's get into it. Genesis 15:13. And he said to Abraham, and that's God, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in the land that is not theirs. So we're going to be taken out of Israel, and we shall serve them as captive slaves, and they shall afflict them for 400 years. So 1619 to 2019, August 20th, right? And so captivity is turned. So God states that, he states that when Israel come together and turn away from the evil and turn back to him and love him with all their heart, soul, and mind, that he would take these curses and he will place them on the Gentiles. And so we see that is happening right now. So God cursed us in the book of Deuteronomy, which we're going to get to in a minute. And we're going to show you these curses that he is placing on the Gentiles as we speak. So it says, the Gentiles shall afflict the Hebrews for 400 years, and the 400 years is up. And also that nation whom they shall serve, I will judge, so that you go into judgment after that 400 years. The judgment, the time of the Gentiles, and all of that is the same day. Joel 3:12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, because it's a process. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So we know whom the nation is that afflicted us for 400 years. And Gentiles, you got to hear what God is saying. You won't hear what black people are saying. Black people will tell you right away, you afflicting us, and we tired of it. But listen to God. God is saying that for 400 years you afflicted us. We never was returned back to our homeland. We wasn't even told who we were. You know, what you do to the mind of a person who don't even know who he is. You know, you don't even know what that does to the mind, do you? You know. So God is saying, let the heathen be wakened, you know, understand who he is and what's his doom, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. You're in the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? When Obama, the Gentile heathen, started the war in Syria along with Russia and the rest of them. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So China and all of these countries that's around the Mediterranean Sea, around Israel and Syria, all of those countries from Russia to all of these, they're in judgment right now. You guys got to understand what's going on. Put you in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get you down for the full press, the fast overload, for their wickedness is great. So you can think you're the most civilized creation, but God is looking at you as wicked. And it ain't how you feel, it's what God knows and how he feels. It ain't your will be done, it's his will be done. It's his kingdom come. You didn't create shit. You just got to understand it and know your place. A lot of Gentiles are high-minded. They don't know their damn place. They don't know how to be humble. Well, God is teaching you how to be humble now. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. So the affliction, but first, those who bless and curse us. When you hung us on the tree, you cursed us. You got to understand what happened. And God said he's going to do what? He's going to punish the generations for that. You know, and you're those generations. Obadiah 1:15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathens. And then you got to understand what heathen is. If there is a Gentile out there, you know, and I don't know for sure, because just like I said, I don't watch your whole life like a TV station to say whether you believe or you don't believe. If you're acting like you believe, I'll list you with the believers. You know, you're not fitting in the category of heathen. A heathen is those who worship idols, you know, multiple gods and things like that don't believe in a God. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as they have done. You want to curse Israel, it shall be done back to them. What did you do? And what is he talking about? What did you do? What did you do to his people? And how did you live your life? Did you serve God or did you serve yourself? You know, people. To be seen a people. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. And so where's the coronavirus launched at? Right there in the throat, right? Exactly. When they cut off your head, they start at the throat, right? Exactly. Isaiah 14:9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. So basically, the dead is rising. How? Because the earth is being risen from what? The volcanic eruptions, right? Activity, right? It stirreth up the dead for thee. See? Even all the chief ones of the earth. It has raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So now what? They're all coming together to what? To fight him who was on the horse. And you guys got to understand that too. Okay, so it says, behold a pale horse. And the rider is what? Death, right? And basically hell follows with him, right? And so the pale horse is the plague, the pestilence, the coronavirus, right? COVID-19, whatever they call it. And then hell is following. And so the dust is coming. We're in the dust cloud right now. You're breathing it in. It's causing the pestilence. It is the pestilence. It's the sickness, that dust. And it's causing pneumonia and upper respiratory failure, sepsis, and hemochromatosis, because it is iron oxide in that dust. Revelations 11:18. And the nations were angry at thy wrath is come. You know, you're not angry at rap news. You just don't have no sense. And thy time of the dead, and the time of the dead. And so that was the judgment that he gave to Satan and he gave to the Gentiles, that they had a time, and this is the time of the Gentiles. And the time was till the dead are raised, that they should be judged for the way that they treat their people and the deal that you made, that let you have your fun and livelihood and do whatever the hell you wanted to for a time. And I know most people don't understand this. And that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. And who are the prophets? the prophets only came through the Hebrew bloodline. There were no Gentile prophets whatsoever in history. And to the saints and them that fear thy name. So that could be you, Gentile, small and great. And should have destroyed them that destroy the earth. Are you polluting and destroying the earth? Right? You got to know your place here. Deuteronomy 28:24. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. And so this is the pestilence. This is causing the sickness, the powder and dust. It is fine dust coming from heaven. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. Right? Habakkuk 3:5. Before him went the pestilence, the dust, right? And then this is coming in Nibiru or planet hell. Wormwood is coming in a dust cloud, right? The dust is coming, and it is the pestilence. And then after the dust come what? The burning coals, the brimstones, right? Meteorites. Joel 3:2. And I will also gather all the nations. I will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and I will plead with them there for my people. How does God plead? He pleading with the pestilence. This is his way to tell you to stop. You know, that he will destroy you and all your nations easily, as you can see. And for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. Everything is about how you treated his people. Whether you want to understand that or you don't want to understand that. Because I got people mad at me and I'm just helping your ass. You can't help nobody. You know. You really can't help people. They don't want no help. They get angry and bite the hand that's feeding them. Or, you know, because I'm feeding your soul. Your soul needs to eat this truth. Or else your soul will die. And people don't understand that either. Your body is nourished off of the land. Your soul is nourished off of truth. And it ain't anybody's truth. It is the actual truth that nourishes the soul. Ezekiel 38:22. And I will plead against him, who? Gentiles, with pestilence. That fine dust particles is coming down, causing sepsis. And with blood. And I will rain upon him. See, first comes the pestilence, then comes the burning coals. First comes the pestilence, and this is what God is pleading with the nations with. For what? For my people, my heritage Israel. Let them go. Send us back to our own country. You know, we don't want to be here any fucking way. You know. And I will rain upon the Gentiles and upon his bands. We don't have militaries. Y'all do. And ain't talking about rock bands. He's talking about military. And upon NATO, that's upon the many people that are with him, the police, the FBI, the CIA. It is a war against y'all. An overflowing rain of great hailstones, fire, and brimstones. First the dust, then the pestilence, then the fire. So we are in the dust cloud, whether you see these fine particles or you don't. And I said to everybody, take a flashlight, go outside in the pitch dark and point it up at the sky and look at all the dust that's consuming you off the land like God told you. Use some common damn sense. All this shit is real. Ezekiel 28:23. And that's another thing. If you don't believe it's real, why are you wasting your time listening? It's happening. For I will send unto her pestilence and blood into her streets, and the wounded shall be judged in the midst of her by the sword upon every side. That's how you judge death. And they shall know that I am the Lord. Ezekiel 14:19. Or if I send a pestilence into that land and pour out my fury upon it in blood to cut off from it man and beast. What does that mean? I will kill Jew and Gentile together if they don't listen to what I have to say. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of thy Lord, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. If you are Hebrew and you ain't following the commands, the pestilence is going to destroy you too. I have many of brothers and sisters and families and aunties and uncles and all of that they all going to get destroyed. Many. Only a handful of people going to make it out of this. We can get sick, but we ain't going to die. God said he's going to punish us in due punishment. So I can cough all damn day long. I shouldn't drop dead from this. Right? But as moments you cough, you're going to drop dead. They said pretty much when you catch this, if you ain't dead within 14 days, then you can become immune to it. And so what does that say? That this pestilence, just like the meteorites, is coming down, that the fire, says God, is coming down to test every man's work, to see what it is. If the pestilence sent sin, basically the body is destroyed. And then if you don't know, this pestilence is coming down, it's destroying the heart. Look it up. Look at what it does to the body. It destroys the hearts. The SARS virus was eating holes in your heart. Ain't that something? Anyway, if you don't observe to do the commandments which I command thee this day, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And so, whether it don't matter what religion you in, I'm going to tell you the truth about the religion. All religion points to the Torah. That is the truth about the Bible, and that is the truth about the Quran. It all points back to the Torah. Muslims will tell you that it don't, but it does. And it says that we gave the children of Israel the Torah for an inheritance, right? And then basically you have nothing to stand on if you don't hold fast by the law and the gospel and all the books that God sent, right? So we know this. And so we know what the Bible states. The Bible states the same thing. That basically, if the Gentiles fail to go by the law, they will be destroyed, right? Jesus came back to what? To fulfill the law of the Torah and to preach that law to the lost children of Israel, right? So the Bible is there to what? Bring you back to the law. What did the Quran do? It gave you the law as an inheritance. Go look it up, and people don't understand. But you can't get around the law. It doesn't matter what religion you in. You ain't getting around the law. And a lot of people try to get around the law and say, we don't have to go by the Torah. You do. You wouldn't even understand half of the things that's going on in this world if you didn't go by the Torah. Which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed will you be in the city, in the field, in your basket, in the store, in the fruits of your body, the fruits of the land, your animals, the flock of your sheep. Cursed will you be when you come in, and cursed when you go out. The Lord shall send upon thee, and it's coming down from heaven, cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that you set your hands on. Everything you touch turns to shit until you be destroyed. Until what? You be destroyed. Until you perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doing. What's wickedness? Where you have forsaken me. You can't say no to God. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, and I told you how. Your lungs. You're going to breathe it in, and they're going to get stuck to you until we have consumed thee off the land, whither you go to possess it, right? Wherever you go to possess the land, you're going to get consumed. Jeremiah 9:25. Behold, the days come, says the Lord, that I will punish all of them which are circumcised with the uncircumcised. So if you walking hand in hand with the sinners and the wicked and the Gentiles, you're going to get punished right along with them. This is what the book said. It ain't what Rap the News is saying. We're just going by the law. If we don't obey the law, we are cursed. Cursed is anybody who don't go by the law, who forsake the Torah. You got to understand that. And look what they're doing in the New Testament, making you forsake the Torah, right? Revelation 18:4. Then I heard another voice from heaven say, come out of her, my people, that you will not share in her sins and contract any of her plagues. Get the fuck away from them. Right? I'm seeing black people move out here where I'm at now. You know, I'm seeing a lot of black people. And 10 times out of 10, they know they Hebrew now. You know, and they looking at us to see if, you know we Hebrew. So anyway, this is anybody who treats God people bad, you getting ready to get destroyed right now. Anybody who curses God's people, you getting ready to get destroyed. Anybody who hates God's people, you will be hated. As you have done, so shall it be done to you. You got to understand that. This balance system. As you sow, you're going to reap. It is the truth. 100% the truth and nothing but the truth. And this is Raptor News.